from an undisclosed bunker deep in the earth, bringing you the best in horror, paranormal, and conspiracy. We welcome you to this week's Zombie Fight Club broadcast with your host, Eddie Rotten.
They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable. 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 Controllable.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching another episode of Zombie Life TV. I want to welcome everybody back to a fantastic, wonderful week of Exodus here in the studio with Gavin Stone and Fanboy TV. Thank you all for showing up and checking us out. What we are doing is kind of adding a little different format. We decided, well, actually, Gavin Stone decided to tell us to stand up. and I had this whole thing planned, and our friends are here, and everything has happened so fast, and I'm like tripping out. So Kara Harden is with us. She's going to do some training with me to show you how to survive the apocalypse. It's kind of like survival training for the apocalypse. And then we're going to talk to Paul Fierro about Texas Terror Challenge and everything that's going down with that.
What's up?
He comes on every single week. I don't think you're tired of him, but because of the beauty that stands before us. He's going to tell us more about Texas Terror. And Kara, she was with us at the first Texas Terror Challenge, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that and some of the kind of the training, because we were outdone. Like, because the last one that we went to,
You were outdone.
Yeah.
I
did the best.
She
damn.
smoked you.
Well, look at her. I did the best that I could, even though I cried a couple times. I think I wet myself a couple times, but really, it's like kind of a big deal because you're out there for 3 days and you have to survive and run from monsters and everything. This year, Texas Terror Challenge is following my book. Now, this is a jacked up copy. I don't know if you can see it. You can't see it under the light.
Black square.
So this is a jacked up book. The Amazon, F you Amazon for jacking up my book. Frequency is a book that I wrote. Started in 2011, and it kind of got some wheels now, and people are picking it up and reading it a lot more than I thought, so thank you all for picking that up. But what's happening is Paul Fierro ended up falling in love with my story, called me on the phone, asked me to make out with him.
It was cheap. It was cheap, that's it.
Yeah. But the storyline kind of fits what he wants to do. So in San Antonio, we're going to Mission Airsoft, which is an airsoft field that we have, and we go out there and we do zombie hunts all the time, and it's awesome. And Kara actually went and did that with us one time too.
It was great. It was awesome.
It's a lot of fun. But they're going to take on the storyline of Frequency and make that happen. So before I get too deep into the Texas Terror Challenge, I wanted to talk to you, Kara, about some of the training that you think that we should do for the next Texas Terror Challenge.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Are you ready? All right. So we've got a couple things here.
You too. You're going to do it too, right?
Oh, I had a heart attack. I'm going to carry a gun. Okay. I'm just going to wound people.
All right. So there's a couple things that are super important when it comes down to the apocalypse. So number one, are you ready for
this? Yeah. Please, Dad, don't say cardio.
In my opinion.
Man, I'm straight up getting ready, and I'm a little nervous.
All right. So number one.
I straight up will pass
cardio. No, but
it,
seriously though, sprinting. Okay, so what is the first thing you got to do when the zombie pops up? You've got to run like hell. Okay,
right.
So you only have to be faster than the slowest person.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But how do you get faster?
You
Sprinting.
I got my water here, and I swear to God, if I start going down, just help me out or something. Splash some water on my face.
So we don't have a lot of running space, so we're just gonna run in place. Go for it. Come on.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, do it, man.
Okay, now.
Come on.
I'm wearing flip flops. I'm wearing flip flops.
Totally unprepared for the apocalypse right here.
And you might be able to see. This is straight up high knees. I'll be 42 years old in August.
All right, the zombie's gone. You've outlived him. Oh, here comes another one. Go!
Oh, man, so don't laugh at me. It makes me self-conscious. Why are you zooming the camera up on my flip-flops?
All right. So that's good. Do you need some water?
What? Not yet. I think I'm good.
Because
So
you don't have
what about
any.
like
It's the apocalypse. All right.
what about like boxing and like how important is that? Because I'm pretty good at boxing.
Yeah, boxing's pretty important. You want to be able to defend yourself and push them off. My personal number
I'm straight up out of breath, man.
My number 2 exercise is super important here.
Or not.
That's got to be push-ups. And I'll tell you why. But first, let's see the push-ups.
Gavin.
All right.
Okay. Can you clip to the studio real quick? I don't want to see you laughing at me, man. I'm self-conscious about my weight. I've been doing a lot to try to change things in my life. And what I need from you is some support, man. I need some support.
Let's hear that support out there.
All right, so I'm gonna get down.
Push-ups.
I'm gonna take my shoes off.
All right. That's not a good
Would you
idea, but
stop
let's do
laughing
it.
so hard at me, man?
All right. Upper body
Oh,
strength, man.
God,
Come on.
hell yeah.
Push up off that floor. There. Oh, there's one.
That's one.
2, 3, 4.
How many do I
5.
gotta do?
I don't know. How many can you do? Oh, we're doing walking sideways push-ups now.
Oh, that's a
he's
thing?
getting this crazy over here. All right, here's the reason why we want to do push-ups. What happens when the zombies come? You ready? You push down the weakest link and you run. That's
Yeah,
what you
that's
do.
true. I've heard that before, and I didn't think I was gonna be the weakest link until right now. But it is very important to be trained up, especially something like Texas Terror Challenge, because it's 3 whole days. I mean, damn. She's gonna give me some water. So 3 whole days, we're gonna be running from zombies and.
You gotta catch her.
Dude, I straight up do flash dance. I'm not scared, man. If I had a mop, I'd do it right now. Cause so it is important to be in shape. I know more than most because, damn, look at me. But Texas Terror Challenge has come a long way. And Paul, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
While he catches his breath.
While he catches his
About
breath.
the Texas Terror Challenge. I can see you laughing at me in the studio. It's not funny.
No, you can't see him. You can hear him.
Okay. Whew, Lord.
So, I mean, Terror Challenge it's pretty straightforward. It's 39 hours. You come out, get involved into the story, and we immerse you in the storyline, and then start basically throwing monsters, traps, Men in Black, FEMA camps at you, and you have to figure it all out. Figure out how to complete missions, how to decide, who do we trust? Do we trust the Men in Black, or are they going to shoot us? That kind of stuff.
Are you able to tell us about some of the missions that you have planned, and are we going to be escaping from FEMA camps since it's at the airsoft field, missionairsoft.com? Are you going to be using the airsoft rifles that we have there on the field?
We've got a variety of things in mind. We're going to be using some airsoft, but we've also got some other prop items, if you will, that we'll be using.
Okay.
To give everybody kind of the opportunity to get some hands-on and do some stuff.
Is there going to be some nudity?
I don't know. A lot of it's going to depend on when you pass out.
Okay, I'm straight up going to pass out. And those of you that don't know, my wife, we were all on a team, the ZFC team, Zombie Fight Club.
That's right. We should have brought the flag.
I know, we should have. I still haven't.
And that was
no,
a
I
kick
think I
butt
threw it.
flag.
Yeah.
That was
Did
an
you like
awesome
that?
flag.
I don't know.
What
I
were
might-
you thinking?
I don't know. I might have. It's been a long
You
year.
recycled that for this.
I know.
Storm that thing around. We're back. Here we come.
I think that we're gonna have an opportunity to make another flag this year, if that's part of it. If not, then. I
As
think that
rumor
you should-
has it, yes, you will have another opportunity.
Okay. All right.
So.
The question that people have though is, what is the age range? Because people want to know if they can bring their kids. What's the youngest kid that you would like to see on the field?
If a parent or a responsible adult is with them, we can have 16 or older.
16 or older?
Yeah. If anybody that wants to come out without a parent, you have to be 18 or up. And this is an insurance issue for us. Mm-hmm. It's liability on the field. It is a physical game.
Yeah.
As you know, the last game we did have somebody that got injured, and
You can say Jennifer Hauser broke your leg.
actually she didn't.
Oh, Oh yeah, well she didn't actually break
We
a leg.
thought she did.
We thought,
Thought she did.
and I could have sworn to God she did because
Yeah.
she screamed all the way to the hospital.
Well, I mean, the medical staff that was there,
Yeah.
we would have sworn it was broken, but we don't have X-ray eyes, so we
Right,
can't really
right.
tell. And it even took them a week or two to figure that out. But
Right.
so it's a liability and health and safety issue for us. As I said, it runs 39 hours, so it's nighttime, daytime. There are a lot of people running around with very little sleep, and
Can I say that is one of the most challenging parts. At first, the first night, you're going out, and all of a sudden you look down at your watch, and you're like, it's 6:30 in the morning, and I just feel like fueled, and I'm doing this, and you're just going on these missions, and then it starts to hit you like midday, and then the second night starts to come around, and you're just like starting to get tired. You're like, I think I need a nap. But if you sleep,
Yeah.
you're screwed. And we were like, every time we left the cabin, we were afraid that some monster was going to sneak in and hide in there and get us when we take
Yeah.
a nap. So we were rigging up the door so we could tell if they'd been in there or not. And we came back, and it was fun.
Which actually did happen. We had somebody come inside
We did.
our room trying to steal the baby
We
from
had
us.
to rescue a baby, and they were trying to steal the baby back.
Yeah, and I mean they did a pretty good job. We kicked them out, and how aggressive the monsters are for Texas Terror is beyond what I thought it was going to be, and I think that added a whole lot of fear to me because, like you're saying, when day 2 kicked in and the fatigue starts to come in, you start to literally get scared. You know that it's not real,
Yeah.
but it's pretty real, man.
well, it's one of the things that I told everybody that first night. This whole event was really kind of a brainchild of mine that was born out of the fact that I worked as a paramedic for more than a decade. And I know how public safety people act and respond in stressful situations on very little sleep. It's just something we trained to do. It's something we did all the time.
Yeah.
But it was always kind of a thing in my head, how's the general public going to respond? We see movies, and you go, oh, I could do that, or
Right.
there's no way I could do that. So there was the big question in my brain was, how are people actually going to react?
What
to
makes it
something
more
like this.
realistic, too, because
Yeah.
when you actually, I don't know, it's kind of like you are in a movie, and it
Right.
makes it more real. Like, I don't know, I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And we see current day. I mean, we have natural disasters, so we know people have to respond in those situations. We know that's a real life situation. But when you start throwing monsters, you go, really? A monster's going to be chasing you? The hurricane's not going to be chasing you all over
Right.
the place.
Right.
So, I mean, it was just kind of an
Well, what's the
interesting
difference between a
thought.
monster and what happened in Katrina, where people are going, crazy for food and for clean water and for things that they really need for their family. I mean, baby food and diapers. People are going out and targeting people that had them to take them, and that's what Texas Terror brings home to me. Is there's going to be FEMA camps there. There's going to be marauders or people there to take your gear. And there's going to be all these different scenarios where you could lose your flags, which is basically your life.
Yeah. Yeah,
Is
so
it the same kind of thing, though?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
so all the players will get what essentially works out to be like flag football flags.
Right.
And so if those flags are pulled, then you're dead. You have to go to the hospital, and you get healed, resurrected, you come back and play.
Right.
There's actually going to be a twist on that this year. Won't go into any detail about it, but kind of giving players some actual options on how they want to proceed when that eventuality occurs.
Right. Right.
The last event, as y'all well know, was on a huge piece of land. It was over 450 acres of land.
We ran the whole damn thing.
And there was one mission where start point to end point, if you measured it out, was over 2 miles. This location is much smaller.
My ass still remembers that one, man. My gluteus maximus was dying for like a week.
Now, see,
a week
if
after.
you had been training with Kara,
Yeah, but I'm still out of breath, man.
you would have been.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Do we need to sit down, let you get some breath?
No, I kind of like it. I might be able to do another workout, so have that in your
Alright.
mind. I might be able to do something else.
So
swing it in.
this location's a lot smaller, so it won't be strung out as much. Where you're actually going to be in a lot more close quarters with the monsters, with the marauders, with the men in black.
Right.
So there's going to be a lot more interaction with other people, things.
Right.
So it's going to be a little bit more interesting. Like I say, we've changed up some of the mechanics of the game.
Okay.
So we're adding some difference to it. In the last event, there were individual teams, and y'all worked and played as a team to achieve objectives, get points for your team, and so forth. This event, because it is the apocalypse, and in the apocalypse, with a few exceptions, we generally want everybody to survive. So in this particular case, even though you come as a team, you work as a team, the individual missions will frequently be done with people from all the teams. So instead of doing all your missions with your whole team, we'll actually pull one player from each team to run a mission.
Right.
So there'll be not just reliance on your own team, but you have to start trusting and relying on people from other teams as well. So
can you really trust them?
Yeah. Push me down like you just pushed me.
That's right. I was running with that man.
But at the same time,
can your own team members take your gear?
Anybody can take your gear.
Oh, God. Okay.
But but the reality is you're wondering, can I trust this person not to push me down? They're thinking the same thing about you.
Right.
Is this
and that's literally
bald-headed, beardy-looking guy gonna push me down and steal all my stuff?
I think that's how it would really be.
Well, and this is kind of what the game is about. It's trying to figure out, who can you trust, who can you not trust.
Right. Yeah.
There's it's basically, it's very much like the apocalypse. There's no electricity.
Yeah.
You're not going to be sitting in the last event we had nice cabins. We had bunk beds. All
so
this
it's
good
going
stuff.
to be
This place is outdoors.
Yeah.
There's no electricity. You can bring your own tent, but we're also going to have like community tarps where people can just lay their stuff out.
Some of the characters that are already on Facebook, there's an ASMZ group on Facebook already, and these are players that are going to be inside the Frequency Texas Terror Challenge. There's the ZFC Facebook page that people can go add anytime they want. But I'm interested to see what aspects of the story you braid into Texas Terror Challenge, because the story is essentially about a mysterious sound that comes from the sky and it really starts to change people. And then I find out that there's a cell and all this stuff. People say, "Oh, you copied that story," but it's really not the same thing. People that have read it understand it's not the same thing. But I'm interested to see what aspects of the story you can wind into to Texas Terror Challenge.
Well, and like I said, we're changing the mechanics a little bit about when players die.
Yeah.
And that actually starts to bring in some of these aspects. The noise. That tone. Does it change people?
Right.
Does it not?
Right.
So there'll be some of that, and that's where you're going to start seeing some of these aspects bred into the game.
I just hope that I'm trained up to a point, because there's people that went to the first one that were Army certified or something like that, and they went running for miles.
The team that ended up winning. I cannot pronounce the team name as we came up with it, because what they called themselves and what we called them were two completely names.
Can we not say that on TV?
But we'll call them the Crazy MF Blue Team.
Okay.
So they are members of, I wish I could remember the name of their team, but they play Quidditch, for those of you who are the Harry Potter fans. There's actually a league of a real-life Quidditch type game.
What?
Yeah, and these guys are physically fit like I would never have believed. To prepare for the last event, they were doing 10-mile runs. They were doing like 100 push-ups. They'd see each other on campus or something. It's like, drop 2 push-ups. And they'd do like 100 push-ups and get up and go on their way. The whole team. And there was 7 of them, something like that. Every one of these people. And they ran, I want to say they logged like 60 miles for the weekend. It was just like, holy mackerel, I can't believe we asked people to do that. So,
which is something I kind of want to throw in, like, because you say 60 miles, and obviously it's over a couple days, but for those people out there that like to do 5Ks and runs and stuff like that, we've done the 5Ks, we've done the color runs, we've done the 10K, we've done the half mile, we've done the Spartan races, the obstacles, all that stuff. So we're kind of like, we need something new. I feel like this is it. I feel like this is the new race, if you will, because if you, granted you're not running the whole time, but kind of like Spartan, you run a little and you have an obstacle, and you run a little, have an obstacle. It's kind of like that, but everything's so unexpected. But when you come to this event, you have to not only be prepared physically but mentally as well, because you're challenged in so many different ways. When you show up to this event, you get fatigued because you're not sleeping. You're having to think strategic plans of how to go on this mission and win it. And the things that you think you're prepared for, you realize, oh, well, maybe I really wasn't that prepared. Because, like, you show up with flashlights and you go outside and you're like, I can't use this. If I turn on my flashlight, the monsters are going to see me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, I mean, all the things that you think you thought of, there's so many things you still haven't thought of. So it's just like, so many things are thrown at you that are unexpected. And it was very challenging and fun at the same time. So
there's
you got your workouts, you ran, you did, group teamwork. I mean, it was great. But
2 instances where I had to leave, decide to leave my wife behind. And it's hard because I want to win with her and she wants to win with me. And it wasn't even a question of who was physically able to do something. It was, I have a flag or she has one missing flag or something like that. And you have to strategically decide who's better for a mission. And then when you get back from the mission, are they still going to be there or have they died? You know? So it's very, like you're saying, it's mind riddling, the things that you have to decide while you're out there. Fatigued.
And the hospital thing doesn't seem so bad. You're like, you go to the hospital, you wait 20 minutes, you respond, whatever. But realistically, and I know it's in a different location this time, but you've planned out how you're going to do this mission. You're with your team. You have crawled through the leaves in the woods, being really quiet because you can see the monsters over there, but they don't know you're there.
Right.
So you're crawling around and you get over there, and finally they see you, they chase you, you run, and they grab your last flag. Well, guess what? You now have to leave your team, and they're left without you, and you have to truck all the way back, which was like a mile or two last time to get to the hospital, respawn, and then go find them again. You don't know where they are.
There were teams that never planned for that. That it's like, okay, so if our plan fails, what's our plan B?
Yeah,
a lot of people didn't think of that.
And
then a lot of people didn't think about that whole, all right, so you're dead, you're at the hospital, where do we meet up with you?
Yeah.
Because it's not like, we can just run over and pick you up.
As rules are, once you're dead, you have to drop everything you have and you can't talk. You just have to walk away as if you were literally dead and walk off.
Now, I think some of the things are on the website of what you can bring and what you're not supposed to bring. There's not going to be any alcohol that goes out there, if I'm not mistaken.
Which honestly, you don't want it. You want to keep your mind sharp.
Yeah. And there's no time to drink. I mean, it's not. You're out there and you're having fun, and I think it's going to open up with a party. We'll see how that goes. But we had walkie-talkies. We had plenty of water. We had as many ways to communicate as we could.
Yep.
I remember at one point there was monsters coming towards us. What we thought were monsters. And I ended up roaring like a monster to see. Remember that? I was trying to see who they were. Like, what were they? Well, turns out they weren't monsters, and they were scared of me, so it worked in our benefit. But it was just the things that you end up doing against somebody or against humanity, I guess you would say, or things that you wouldn't normally think that you would do against somebody to survive,
Well, you say you wouldn't do it, but you're right. Some of these things you start bringing out some of these
different aspects of your personality.
Yeah, things that we keep buried in day-to-day society that you start finding, would I actually do this if life and death came to it?
Right.
Wow.
Like people's mentality, most of my survival gear is in my next door neighbor's house. That's how people really do think
assuming
that
your
way.
neighbor lets you get to it.
Yeah. Where can people find more out?
Okay, so our website is texasterrorchallenge.com. That takes you to the page with all the base information. There's a very in-depth FAQ on there. Kind of a rules and terms page is on there as well.
Right.
The FAQ does list a lot of things about what to bring. And generally it's stuff to sleep on, sleep in, clothes.
Cool.
For the love of all that's holy, deodorant and toothbrush and toothpaste. I realize that's not apocalypse stuff, but
I ain't got no damn time for no.
Don't bring the sleeping bag. It's taking space.
But extra clothes are really important. It starts to get towards the cool part of the year. I'll be real honest with you. If you're actually participating in the game, playing the game, you're going to be running, you're going to be sweating. cold weather, sweaty clothes, wet clothes,
Yeah.
not a
You
good
get
combination to make.
You get sick.
You will also
Yeah.
you will also be getting covered. To what extent will be up to you with
Okay.
blood and slime.
Yeah. Ooh.
I
love
was-
that. Oh yeah, you got
I
blasted.
got shot.
Yeah, you got
Right.
blasted.
I can't
And
climb it
you
up.
Oh,
know, so having a
We got-
top soaked.
What do we got? 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Desolation Manor or
TexasTerrorChallenge.com.
.com.
If you're interested in coming out and being part of the cast and crew, there's a page on there to do that too.
Okay.
We'd love to have y'all out.
Okay.
On top of the registration for the event, there's a meal plan that's available as well.
Okay.
The website really has all of that. I
Okay,
advise
good.
you to go out and look at it. It's got a lot of information.
And the new trailer for Texas Terror Challenge is going to come out this week. It's got big voice from Jay Kennedy. Thank you so much, Jay Kennedy,
Thank you.
for
Appreciate
doing
your
the
work.
voiceover for us. It's just
Yeah.
incredible help. Go to missionairsoft.com. That's where we're going to be having the Texas Terror Challenge.
Real quick,
Yeah.
Something there's a change from last year or
Okay.
the last event. Desolation Manor is the host company for this event.
Okay.
We are registering as a nonprofit. We are actually moving into the nonprofit arena to do
We got 1 minute.
interactive theater, bringing training and teaching of skills to build sets, makeup, costuming effects to underserved populations, to youth, things like that.
Oh, wow.
So we're trying to move this into a bigger
To give
arena
back.
and give back to the community
Give
that's
back.
given a lot to us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, dude, you're here every single week. I'm going to promote
Absolutely.
you as much as I possibly
Good to
can.
see you
Karen,
come out.
thank you so much for coming. As always, everybody, train up, kill them all.
Kill them all!
Hey,